Now I'm joined in studio with a singer, a songwriter, and her name is Aviwe, and she'll be chatting a little bit to us about who she is, where she's from, and also about her music career. Aviwe, thank you so much for joining us today here at Cape Town Daily. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Now, Aviwe, we just know that you are a singer, a songwriter. Tell us a little bit about Aviwe. Who is she? Where is she from?
Okay, so Aviwe is from Queenstown in the Eastern Cape. That's where I grew up. Pretty much was very active and very vibey from a young age. So I was on stages pretty much from grade
You've
3.
been performing since you were a child.
From grade 3, I was in a choir, still in a church choir.
Wow.
I've always just loved music, always connected with music, but never really did anything about it until I took my own kind of self-love journey, and that's when I decided to go.
Would you say moving from Queenstown to Cape Town, because now you're currently staying in Cape Town, was that transition for you a bit challenging?
I think so, in a way, because I think it was wrapped up in being a new opportunity because I came for varsity. So there was that excitement of something new, but definitely coming from a small town to a city it's a big transition, yeah.
Now your music is very versatile, right? Who are some of the musicians that inspire you, and also what kind of genre do you do?
So I like to kind of describe it as Afro soul, but the main element just being soul. Whatever you can connect with, the messages that I resonate with, and that's what I kind of sing with. I've always loved Thando Somazwai and Alicia Keys.
Cool.
But I think every artist has a little something to provide me with, depending on whether I want to vibe or I want to be emotional. But I think those two I draw most of my inspiration from. And I also grew up listening to a lot of jazz. So, an Oliver Mtukudzi, a Jimmy Dludlu, different influences, yeah.
Now you while we were chatting earlier, you said that you started doing music very young. You loved music from then. But when did the actual work start for you? To say, okay, I'm going to put my focus on music. When did that start?
That started for me in 2017. I was going through a kind of transitional period. I just felt like I had hit an emotional bedrock, and I needed an expression, an avenue of expression. And that year I pretty much wrote all of the songs that are on my EP. And I kept them on my phone for maybe 2 years after that, just as voice notes, until I played them to my producer, and he was like, no, there's something here. You can actually do something with this. And after we had organized just a small show at a place in town at that time, that's when I kind of gained the confidence and started going with it.
Talking about your EP, was that a lot of work put into that EP? Was it also a bit challenging for you to do all of that music that you did?
I don't think so. I think it was quite a natural experience. Like I said, it was more about expressing myself at that time. I didn't think of it as creating a certain kind of body of work or doing something in music. It was just I needed to get all of that emotion out of me. But I guess the actual work came in then getting into studio, arranging it, and so on.
What has been, in terms of like music, what has been one of your greatest highlights? I know we just started 2023, but let's go a little bit back. 2022, What has been, some of your greatest highlights in your music career?
I think
Are there so many? You haven't thought about it.
I hadn't thought about it, and I think music is so personal to me that the highlights for me have always been my family's response. I think for the longest time I thought my parents would be so scared for me to do music, and I think to a certain extent they probably are, but my mom actually took the time to go to a place she wouldn't necessarily go to watch me, and I think just her stepping outside of herself and being like she wants to be there to witness her child singing, and like the words of affirmation she gave me afterwards, and my dad as well. So I think those are the highlights of when they've been there to support me and to affirm me, because their opinion is the one that counts the most.
Definitely, parents supporting their children is one of the important things that we all need. But now 2023 is here. It's just the beginning of the year. What are some of your plans? What are you working on this year? Just briefly, let us know.
Okay, I'm a big planner, so I'm still on that vision board, and because of my faith also, I believe in praying about it and kind of seeking God about it, and I constantly am seeking my purpose. So it's nothing concrete, but definitely going out there trying to find even more gigs, talking to the festivals, doing different interviews as well, just getting myself out there, because I think that's the one thing I struggle with sometimes. Because as much as I have a personality, sometimes I just want to stay in my shell as well. So I believe that at the forefront, the music is the thing that should be in front, and I think that's why I struggle sometimes with kind of getting myself out there, because then it feels like I'm making it about me, not about the music. And the most important part is the message of the music. But I now understand that part of getting the music out there is getting the word out there.
All right, Aviwe, we are running out of time, but before we go, please let your fans, people who want to know what kind of music you do, listen to your beautiful voice, where do they find you on the socials?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram as Aviwe _being heard. That's Aviwe _being heard. And that's the same on Facebook as well.
So Aviwe, thank you so much for joining us on the Cape Town Daily. Hopefully we'll be hearing more of you this year. More music, please.
That is the plan.
Step out of that shell, come
That
out.
is the plan.
You sound like you've got a beautiful voice. So let people hear that voice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Aviwe.
Thank you for having me.
All right.